Hi, I'm Brent Clow, and I'm with Aeromotive Fuel Systems. I'm here today to talk a little bit to you about Aeromotive, about who we are, what we do. Basically, we are a fuel pump manufacturer, but we're really a lot more than that. We make fuel pumps, we make pressure regulators, we make fuel filters, and we engineer these components for many applications, from carbureted to fuel-injected engines, old muscle cars to modern EFI performance. We've been in business since 1994. We're a 17-year-old company, and we have grown tremendously in this last 17 years. We started out, Steve Matuzik, the owner of the company, is an aerospace engineer. He actually began in racing when he was a young boy. His father raced, and he raced with his dad and with his brother. And like most of us that are in this business, we're involved because of the passion for racing and the passion for performance. When Steve got his college degree in aerospace engineering, it was a smart thing, and he wanted to be an aerospace engineer, and he did that. At the same time, in the back of his mind, like many of us, he wanted to be in this industry full time. He wanted to actually take what he knew and his knowledge and education and apply it to automotive performance. And that's where Aeromotive comes from, aerospace technology and automotive performance. When Steve started, we started with a fuel pump form factor like this. This is our Aeromotive Eliminator fuel pump. The A1000, the Eliminator, and our Pro Series pump are all in the same basic form factor, where you have a inline pump. The fuel comes in one end, through the pumping mechanism, through the electric motor, and out the other end. Electric motor runs wet. These are fuel pumps which internally are submersed and which can actually externally be submersed. In other words, this pump could be in the tank if you like. Which kind of leads me to new technology at Aeromotive. For many years, people have taken our pumps and put them in the tank in one form or another. But Aeromotive has really not done what we call a dedicated in-tank fuel pump until we introduced our new Stealth product line. The Stealth series fuel pumps are available in a generic format where a person can actually take a fuel pump, top load it into a fuel cell, set it in, configure a certain length pickup and draw from the bottom of that cell. We offer our Stealth series fuel cells, which have this already done. We have this generic pump and pickup arrangement for guys who want to build their own. This has kind of led us to the opportunity with late model muscle cars, and we're talking now about vehicles that are generally built after 2003, 2004. These vehicles have large openings in the top of the tank. They have very sophisticated, what's called returnless fuel systems from the factory. These systems are capable of supporting just the amount of power that the engine makes stock. The guy that wants to modify that Corvette or that Mustang or that Camaro or that Mopar muscle car, the new ones, the ones that are really fast to begin with, well, they're really out of options. And what Aeromotive has done is actually taken our A1000 Eliminator pumps and put them in a form factor where they will load into the stock tank. In the process, we actually deploy connections for the stock transfer pumps or siphon jets. We allow the stock fuel level sending unit to be mounted. And essentially, it's a pretty simple thing where you can drop this pump in the tank and you don't have to modify the tank, you don't have to sump the tank, you don't have to do anything, make a fabricated pickup tube. Everything sits inside. The A1000 fuel pump is currently capable of supporting up to 1,000 flywheel horsepower EFI forced induction, up to 12 or 1,300 horsepower carbureted forced induction. The Eliminator fuel pump in this same form factor will go to about 1,400 flywheel horsepower. The Pro Series fuel pump will go to about 1,700. So essentially, we've got a stepping stone, if you will, or a stair step of fuel delivery now, with the 340 pump capable of up to 600 or 700 horsepower, then picking up with the A1000 from 700 to 1,000 horsepower, and then the Eliminator up to 1,300, and then the Pro Series pump up to 1,600 or 1,700. So we've actually created in the Stealth product line a really nice progression of fuel delivery options for people as they build their car to go faster and faster and make more and more power. Going further, Aeromotive has been able to develop recently and introduce what we'll call an in-tank pump in the truest sense, a pump that actually goes in the stock location. It's called our Stealth 340. A common performance in-tank pump upgrade would commonly be a 255 liter per hour fuel pump. Aeromotive has taken that same performance envelope, that same form factor, and built a fuel pump that fits in that location that flows 340 liters per hour at the same pressure. So now there's going to be new pumps available for many hundreds of stock applications where individuals are going to be making upwards of 500, 600, 700 horsepower and are going to be able to use an Aeromotive pump in the tank and won't necessarily have to make drastic changes to their car. Of course, when they go to that 750 or 800 horsepower package or beyond, we will have the senior Stealth products, the A1000, the eliminator pumps that go on those tanks, and we'll let them take it to the next level. One of the things that's really exciting about Aeromotive is that we're not just a fuel pump manufacturer, we're really a fuel system manufacturer, or a company that makes systems. And I want to talk a little bit about what it takes to make a fuel system, and that's really a fuel pressure regulator. Aeromotive has a lot of different regulators. In fact, maybe it's one of the areas that's a little bit confusing for the first exposure to our company. How come you have so many different regulators? It has to do with the fact that we understand that a regulator has to be really engineered to control a fuel pump, to control that pump's flow, and to manage the pressure range that we're trying to manage. So Aeromotive offers a regulator in both a bypass and, if you will, in a deadhead or a blocking style for all of our different fuel pumps, for carbureted and fuel-injected applications. And when you pick the right pump and you follow that by going to our catalog, to our power planner, selecting the right componentry that's advised there, the regulator and the filters and the line sizes, what you have is a fuel system that will really work.